Hey, Clay County, I am here on the campus of Ridgeview High School. We're in, what's it called, the room?
Yeah, the wrestling room.
No, there's a nickname.
Oh, the Panther Den?
We're in the Panther Den here at Ridgeview High School, the wrestling room, with our December Student Athlete of the Month presented by our friends from the Northeast Florida Builders Association. This is Senior Matt Rodriquez, and he is our Student Athlete of the Month. Matt, you have had an unbelievable high school wrestling career. Your career record is 220 wins and only 4 losses. You're a 2-time state runner-up, a 3-time regional champion. You're actually closing in on the national record for high school wins. You said you have about 36 more. And recently you've committed to Lehigh University. Just talk about, this season being your senior year. What has it meant to you just being on the Ridgeview wrestling team?
It's great. There's a lot of differences. There's a lot, of course, adversity in the room every year, but every year there's something new to change. There's new things to add on, whether it's myself personally or with the team. But I mean, it's looking great this year, and I'm definitely excited, just being that it's my senior year and I only have one more chance at the state championship left.
So what drives you? You win a lot of matches, and I think you might have alluded to it a little bit about, winning that state title. What drives you every single day to put your nose to the grindstone and get better?
I think it's knowing the fact how close I got each year, and each year that I've gotten closer and closer, but still you haven't yet reached that top part of the podium yet. So knowing that I've gone to the finals twice, I've almost gotten to the finals my freshman year, and being the fact that now that I know I can make it there and that I can win it, it's just me putting in more and more work and actually fulfilling that goal.
Just recently, you actually signed to Lehigh University to wrestle. What a cool signing day that was. You selected Lehigh over Penn State, Arizona State, Oregon State. There it was, Oregon State. Why Lehigh? Why did you end up choosing Lehigh?
Lehigh was always a perfect fit for me. Since the day I stepped in, even with my recruiting day where I went up there to be prospect, they just treated me like family. I think that with a lot of campuses and a lot of universities, it's more of them just choosing the top people in the country and me just becoming a number. But I feel that with Lehigh, I was more part of the family and that they treated me more like I belong there.
Well, like we said, you've had an unbelievable wrestling career. Let's go talk about some of your community involvement. So Matt, we've discussed some of your awesome wrestling career. You're also very involved in the community here in Clay County. You're a member of Christ Church, Fleming Island, and also you've been a mentor there, a youth leader, mentor for elementary and junior high students. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think building up in the program, when I first moved to Florida, I was actually part of the elementary and middle school service, so I was one of their students there. So having the mentors, as I'm in the position that I am now, coming up, and as I grew up, I was like, hey, I kind of want to fulfill that position and kind of help out the kids as he helped me out. So as I grew older, I think my freshman or sophomore year, I took on that role, and as the years went on, I just kind of bumped up on each grade level. So now I started with elementary school, and then I built my way up to now helping middle schoolers.
That's awesome. And then on top of not only giving in the community, you also give back on your campus. You're very involved in the Ridgeview High School Athletic Leadership Council. Talk a little bit about what the ALC does here on campus.
We try to kind of just show as much support as we can, whether it's with the Ridgeview community around campus, or mainly even strictly with the sports, because there's a lot of sports that really don't get as much attention as they should, whether it be with golf team, soccer, girls basketball, anything like that sort, even with wrestling. And we just try to show as much support as we can, whether it's with their senior nights or any home game that we can take advantage of, and we'll spice up the audience, we'll create little games for them and just show them, hey, you're not alone.
Yeah, even then, I know right now, the Christmas season, the Athletic Leadership Council, talk about the little toy drive thing you guys do.
Yeah, so every year we try to get the toys, bring in as much toys as we can, whether it's just with us as ALC or even encouraging other students around campus to bring in toys. And what we'll do is we'll even walk it out to the elementary school campus, and once we bring it there, we'll have their administration kind of hand it out to the kids who don't really have toys or are kind of in a spot to where that's not really something that they have.
That's awesome. That's such a great way of the Ridgeview High School community gives back to Ridgeview Elementary, and you're right in the mix of all of it. Not only you're an awesome wrestler, you're awesome in the community, pretty good student as well. Let's go talk about your academics. So Matt, we've talked about your wrestling accomplishments, how active you are in the community, both in Clay County and here at Ridgeview High School. Finally, you're an unbelievable student. You have a 4.014 grade point average. What kind of classes are you taking?
Every year since my freshman year, I kind of started off with taking honors classes with specifically math. But I think it was once my junior year started kicking in, I think I had that mentality that junior year was always going to be the hardest year. So I tried to kind of add on a little bit more to my schedule. So then I added on 1, maybe even 2 more honors classes, and that just helped bump my GPA up ever since then.
Are there any specific teachers that you want to thank? You know, you're a senior, you've been here for 4 years. There's got to be people that have helped you get to where you're at.
Not to single anyone out, but like I'd like to thank all my teachers, really. Every one of them since my freshman year, the ones that are still here or even moved away, they had a great impact on me. Whether it was teachers that supported me with my college career, or say if I got in trouble, they kind of didn't rat me out or anything. But each one had a great impact, and I'm grateful for all of them, and I definitely wouldn't be in the position that I am now without them.
That's awesome. And finally, you know, this is just such a culmination of a career here at Ridgeview. Who else would you like to thank as far as, you know, you're going off to Lehigh, that's a big deal, and it takes a village. Who else would you like to thank?
Specifically, I'd like to thank my dad and my coach. I know I wouldn't be here in the situation that I am, whether it was getting as many D1 scholarship offers as I did, or just him having the same mentality as I know that I am great, and that it's a matter of fact of how much work that I put in to even become even greater. And just with him having that same amount of success in his life, his past life, he kind of knew that in me. So it was great having him as a mentor, and obviously he's going to still help me out in the future, but he was definitely the main leader, mentor, and coaching person in my life.
That's awesome, man. So last thing is you know, Lehigh, that's an Ivy League school. What's next when you get to Lehigh? What are you going to major in, and what's your plans after your wrestling career is over?
In Lehigh, I'm going to hopefully major in College of Health, and obviously continue on college through or wrestling through college. But after college, I'm hoping to become a physician assistant in the Navy, and hopefully get the certain amount of money to support my family and just be able to do the things that I enjoy.
Matt, it's been awesome catching up with you. Also, we have the athletic director here at Ridgeview High School, Chris Gallagher, joining us today. We appreciate everything he does here for the Panthers. And most of all, Matt, on behalf of Clay County District Schools and our great friends at the Northeast Florida Builders Association, we are super proud to present you as the December Clay County Student Athlete of the Month.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
And maybe we're invisible.